Me suena tu cara is an interesting expression in Spanish because it implies that your face sounds familiar. Faces obviously do not have a sound, not really, but that's how we say it in Spanish. Me suena tu cara. Your face is familiar. Your face rings a bell, you could say. Today we're going to talk about the verb sonar and a few uses of sonar to talk about, things that sound good or things that are familiar. So, let's go. Hey everybody, it's Daniel. Welcome back to my sofa in beautiful Barcelona. Today we're going to talk about the verb sonar in Spanish. We're also going to do a little bit about the verb soñar, which is completely different. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel. I don't know, listen to my podcast, Spain to Go, which now has 100 episodes, etc., etc. I do a lot of things online for, people who are interested in Spanish and in Spain. Check out the podcast if you want. The sentence, suena bien, is a good place to start. Suena bien is, it sounds good. Suena bien. Very simple, very easy. You can use it in conversations. Suena bien. ¿Te apetece ir al chino? Sí, suena bien. This is, would you like to go to the Chinese restaurant? I just say el chino there, but I understand that I'm talking about a restaurant. ¿Te apetece ir al chino? Sí, suena bien. So that's pretty easy. If you wanted to say the sentence I started out with, tu cara me suena. Tu cara me suena is your face. Rings a bell. I don't actually in English use the expression rings a bell very much, but this is what they teach people in English classes to say. I would just say, you look familiar. Do we know each other? But in Spanish, that would be tu cara me suena. Nos conocemos. Nos conocemos is do we know each other. In English, we need 4 words to do that, and in Spanish, it is nos conocemos. It's a reflexive verb. The nos is us to each other. Do we know each other? Nos conocemos? The answer could be anything. It could be creo que no. No nos conocemos. I don't think so. I don't think we know each other. Creo que no. No nos conocemos. There was a TV show about people who had previously been slightly famous, I think, that was called Tu cara me suena. So that's, an expression you could see out there in the world. If I asked you, ¿Conoces a Juan José Martínez? Do you know Juan José Martínez? Typical Spanish name. You could answer, no, no me suena. Meaning that the name doesn't sound familiar. A name has a sound. A face doesn't. So we use this for names, but by extension also for people if we see them. You could say, ella es de un pueblo que se llama Chinchón. And I could answer you, me suena el nombre. Me suena el nombre, like the name sounds familiar. Me suena el nombre de Chinchón. I'm talking about the name of the pueblo, the town. Ella es de un pueblo que se llama Chinchón. Chinchón is to the south of Madrid. I don't know if it's a pueblo or if it's a small city. Anyway, me suena el nombre works because, it's a name, it has a sound, and it could sound familiar to me. It means I've probably not been there, but I think I might have heard of it. I can also use this in questions. If I say, el restaurante se llama El Sol, ¿te suena? The restaurant is called El Sol. Have you heard of it? Does it sound familiar? El restaurante se llama El Sol. ¿Te suena? And you could say, no, no me suena. Or you could say, claro que sí, es mi restaurante favorito, etc. There's lots of things you can answer to these conversational type questions. So now that we're here, let's talk a little bit about soñar. When I was learning Spanish back in the day, we had a textbook that was called Sueña. Sueña is a command, an imperative, an order. It's like, hey, you, dream. Sueña. That was the name of the textbook. And yeah, the verb soñar is a little bit irregular. So, yo sueño, tú sueñas, él sueña. Maybe we can talk about the verb soñar in greater depth in a future video. But I don't want you to confuse Suena with sueño, for example. Sueño is a very common word. If I say el sueño americano, that's the American dream. El sueño español, which is different than the American dream, the Spanish dream. You could say tengo sueño. Tengo sueño is I'm sleepy. Typical sentence that you're going to hear. Tengo sueño. And if I'm using a third person singular, if I want to use the word sueña, I could just say ella sueña con ser actriz. The third person singular is similar to the imperative. So sueña, meaning the imperative, hey you, dream, is the same conjugation technically as ella sueña con ser actriz. So we can talk more about soñar another day, but the imperative is often a verb form that is shared with, another verb tense. Long story. The imperative in Spanish is not terribly difficult, but it's a difficult topic generally because we have 50 different conjugations for every verb. So, teaching you one isn't doing all that much. Anyway, me suena tu cara is you look familiar. Me suena el nombre is it sounds familiar. And then sueño con algo, sueño con ganar $1,000,000 is I dream of someday doing something. I dream of, in this case, earning $1,000,000. Sueño con ganar $1,000,000. Just to give you an example. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I've got a lot more here on the channel. Like I said, I've also got a podcast called Spain to Go, which is here on YouTube and also on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, if you prefer that. Spain to Go, which talks about different aspects of Spanish culture and basically life as an American in Spain. Lots of Americans hoping to move to Spain these days, so it could be useful if you're thinking of making the leap across the Atlantic. If you would like to support this channel, go to expatmadrid.com/donate. I'll put the link down here as well. expatmadrid.com/donate. You can donate some money, anywhere from €3 to however much you want. I appreciate it. I do this for free. I don't really have anything to sell you. So I just like teaching a little bit of Spanish when I have some free time to do stuff like this. So expatmadrid.com/donate. Also on the blog, expatmadrid.com. I've got a lot more articles about life in Spain. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hasta la próxima. Bye.